the end of Chapter 5 is finally here, and soon we'll be heading back to the Chapter 2 island, but in preparation for that season, let's take some time and recap everything that's gone down in Chapter 5's final season, where Hope had to face her destiny and take on the legendary Marvel villain, Dr. Doom. But before we dive into the story of this season, let's address one major question. Why was Doom even interested in Reality Zero in the first place? This guy's from the Marvel Comics. Why was he serving as Fortnite Chapter 5's final big bad? And fortunately, the answer to that is very simple, and Epic has actually been slowly but surely building up to this since all the way back in Chapter 2, but before I get into that, let me explain the origins of Dr. Doom to anyone who may not be too familiar with this character. So in the Marvel Comics, Dr. Victor Von Doom was born in the country of Latveria in a small Romani camp to a woman named Cynthia Von Doom. But Cynthia was no ordinary woman, as she had actually become a witch in order to rescue her tribe from a tyrant who had been threatening them for years. However, despite the warnings of her husband to stop this madness, Cynthia kept toying with these powers until she encountered a powerful being that would lead to her demise, and this was none other than Mephisto, who in short is a demon lord who imitates the devil. Cynthia made a deal with this demon where she sold her soul in exchange for the power to wipe out her enemy. However, Mephisto tricked Cynthia and actually took over her body during this time, causing her to take innocent lives. Horrified by what Mephisto had done, Cynthia attempted to run away. However, the villagers caught her and took her life. After Doom found out this had happened, he vowed that he would one day rescue his mother from the demon who took her from him. But we wouldn't see Doom attempt this until he had moved to America during his college years and met his lifelong rival Reed Richards. But more importantly, this is where Doom created his first attempt to rescue his mother. However, his plan went horribly wrong and left his face permanently scarred, which is why Doom now wears the iconic mask we all know. And while this isn't the most detailed origin story for Dr. Doom you can find, I hope I was still able to give you a solid introduction to this character. But now let's get into Doom's involvement in the Fortnite storyline, which started with his first appearance back in Chapter 2, Season 4. Now, did Doom play a major role in this season? Absolutely not. He basically just took over Pleasant Park for a bit, stole some Stark tech, and dipped. However, what's actually important to note is that Doom was called to the island to help with the whole Galactus situation, which is how he learned of the existence of Reality Zero. Doom took note of this reality and realized that it may be the perfect place to achieve one of his true goals of creating a perfect utopia, which we can hear him actually talk about in the Chapter 5 voice lines.
Mother, I am building my new kingdom. This place reeks of failure, of fault, of imperfection, but it will not be this way for long. I will set this place to order. I will make it perfect by gentle guiding hand, or by brutal fist of submission.
However, we wouldn't see Doom start to enact his plan until the tie-in Zero War comics, a miniseries that takes place during the final battles between the Imagined Order and the Seven, back in Chapter 3, Season 2. In these comics, Doom was recruited by none other than Geno, the leader of the Imagined Order, to join his higher-ups, in hopes that Doom would help them with their plan to create a collider that would take out all life on the island. Doom agreed to Geno's proposal, as both of these men had dreams of turning Reality Zero into their utopia, and Doom realized that there were benefits to this partnership. However, it would only be a temporary one, as ultimately Doom had other plans. In these comics, a fragment of the Zero Point had fallen into the Marvel Universe, aka Reality 616. So a group of heroes from the Fortnite and Marvel universes were tasked to retrieve it. However, as they were about to complete their mission, Doom came out of nowhere and stole the fragment, then ripped it away. These same heroes then chased him to what we later found out was the Ice Moon, which is actually the true kingdom of the Ice King, who had been staying there dormant since his last appearance in Chapter 1. Doom had come to this place to steal several powerful relics that the Ice King had in his collection. However, he had some heroes he had to take care of first. Doom then ambushed these heroes who had followed him, and the two sides clashed before Doom was eventually overwhelmed by the second group of heroes that happened to be there rescuing the Paradigm from the mech, which had also recently been reawakened. This forced Doom to flee, but he still took several of the Ice King's relics with him. In the final issues of this series, we saw Doom one last time, who was apparently tasked to bring these weapons to the Imagined Order and use them against the Seven and the Loopers. However, when Gunner went to retrieve Doom and stop him from running away, Doom killed Gunner and left Reality Zero, betraying Geno. After this, we didn't see Doom again until just last season when he emerged as the Wanderer, wearing a white cloak that turned him into a shadowy figure to mask his true identity. This cloak he more than likely stole from the Ice King's collection. Doom wandered the island for the entire season until Megalodon's pipeline had been finished, and then the final moments before Megalodon could fuel his ship, Doom hacked the machine, causing it to explode and reveal where Pandora's box had been hiding, which led to Doom approaching the box and stealing its powers for himself. So now, in Season 4, when we initially booted up the game, we were greeted to quite the sight. Dr. Doom had taken over the Fortnite Island and had brought several locations from his kingdom of Latveria with him. But what was most impressive, or horrifying depending on who you ask, are the trophies Doom had taken from the lives he claimed during the night he took the powers of Pandora's box for himself. See, according to Hope, after Doom had revealed himself as the Wanderer, he wasted no time putting his plan into motion. However, at the end of Season 3, Magneto had been onto Doom and quickly summoned many heroes from the Marvel Universe to take on Doom in a head-on assault. Only things did not go well for the heroes, as Doom claimed the lives of characters such as the Fantastic Four, the Silver Surfer, and even Magneto, meaning that his attempt to help this island actually cost him his life. But Doom didn't stop here, as he also took out powerful beings he thought could pose a threat to his grand plan, such as Galactus, Ultron, and even Thanos. Many heroes who fought Doom were able to escape this fight with their lives, however some were too injured to continue this fight and had to pass down their mantles, which is why we see Shuri taking T'Challa's place as the Black Panther and Jones taking up Cap's shield. Both characters are still alive, just unable to return to action. But even though Doom had won this first battle, he encountered one hiccup in his plan. It turns out that this new armor he had designed to absorb the powers of Pandora's box weren't strong enough to absorb these powers without corrupting Doom and taking over his body, meaning he would have to craft a new set of armor out of the box itself so that he could control these powers. So Doom has been forced to leave the island for the time being, but he's left behind his Doombot and his higher-ups Mysterio and Emma Frost to keep Hope and her allies occupied while he crafts his new set of armor.
I feel nothing but vacant hunger. It must be the box. It is exhilarating, but it is also wild, chaotic, uncontrolled. Using the box again, without my armor appropriately upgraded, would be unwise. But I won't have long to wait. My work nears completion. When all is reborn in my perfect image, I will never fail again.
So now that we have all of this background information out of the way, we can dive into the main story of this season, which once again has us following Hope and Jones. Hope has been told that she's destined to fight Doom and somehow defeat him by her new ally, the Oracle. The same Oracle that helped guide the Loopers against the gods of Olympus back in Chapter 5, Season 2. However, Hope lacks the confidence that she, a normal girl with no powers, will be able to defeat Dr. Doom. Jones, on the other hand, has full faith in Hope and has now decided to leave behind his path of vengeance and fully embrace his role of being Hope's mentor. Fortunately, this pair have a ton of allies backing them up from both Marvel and Fortnite's universes. Plus, with Doom out of the picture for the moment, they have some time to figure out his true plans and how to stop him. So Hope immediately gets to work and launches an investigation team to learn about Doom's whereabouts and what he's up to. Eventually, one of the Loopers finds a familiar looking object next to the remains of Pandora's box.
Whoa! What is that?
Looks like it belonged to him. Doom.
You should take a closer look at it, Hope.
Why me?
Oh, it's part of the whole subject of a dark prophecy job description. Been there.
With Doom's mask having been found, Jones then quickly got to work with his own investigation.
If I find Doom, that's one less thing for Hope to worry about. I've been there. Leading reality's fearless defenders really weighs on a person. She's got a whole army of people on her side. She's ready for this. She just needs to go for it. You know, back in my day, We did this kind of thing with nothing but a banana and what I think was maybe an angry snow globe?
So as we can hear through a lot of Jones's voice lines, he's truly embraced being Hope's mentor and really cares about her, even though Hope doesn't really appreciate all Jones has done for her.
You're back! Have you seen something new? Maybe a way of defeating Doom?
I have seen something new. A feline ally. A cunning plan. A victory hidden in defeat.
You don't know more? Please, I have to get this right.
We've had this conversation so many times. My child, you have everything you need.
Okay, if either of you need me, I'll be in my war room looking over our intel.
Wow, kind of a vibe killer.
You really want to kill the vibe? I'll start scrying your future.
Hey, you are basically a glass of water. I can and will drink you.
Well, it turns out this feline ally the Oracle mentioned was actually Shuri. She had reunited with her old friend Jones, who she met during the Zero War comics, and brought with her a plan to stop Doom. Shuri knows that it would be basically impossible to actually kill Doom, especially in his current state, so instead her plan involves rifting Doom away from the island, similar to what Iron Man did to Galactus back in Chapter 2. The heroes all agreed to this plan and get to work. The first step was to send Gwenpool into the raft to act as a prisoner, when in reality, she's just there to gather intel on Doom and to steal some chips that Shuri will need to power her new Rift Tech. And she steals Doom's password to access his bank account because of course she did. But back to our main heroes, they have been getting help from various loopers on the island to gather supplies to build Shuri's new Rift Recalibrators. At this point, everything seems to be going smoothly, but that also causes Hope to have her own self-doubts.
You know, Shuri's a super genius in a super suit who traveled all the way across reality to fight Doom. And me? I didn't do any of that. Since the Oracle's prophecy, everyone's been looking to me as their leader. And on the outside, I try my best to play the part. But on the inside, I can't help but wonder if maybe the box picked the wrong girl. I have no powers. I'm no master tactician. I'm just a girl with some spray cans. The one thing I can do is try, as hard as I can, with everything I've got. I hope it's enough.
So it was around this point of the story where we really started to get to know Hope as a character. Before this, she was really just kind of there, but during the last couple of seasons, we've learned a lot about how she was actually raised as part of the society, but left and rebelled against them when she learned of their corruption. However, Hope always had help in these past battles. She had Jones and the Underground when fighting the society, add on the aid of Medusa and other allies from the Pantheon when fighting Zeus, and when it comes to Megalodon, that was Doom who took out Megalodon in his Wastelanders, not Hope. So now she's being told she may single-handedly have to take on the greatest threat she's ever encountered, so it's understandable why she'd be so nervous. But fortunately, she's surrounded by allies who fully believe in her, and of course she has a mentor who's got her back no matter what. So once Jones helps Hope regain some confidence, it comes time for our heroes to test the recalibrators, and they decide to target the Doom bot. However, when the heroes go to test the Rift Tech, something goes wrong, and it would seem that Doom was under their plan the entire time.
I've heard this island's cowards whimper your name in fear. Hope. You may be prophecy, but I am judgment. And when our weapons do finally cross in combat, I expect to find you wanting.
Well, it turns out that Doom's higher-ups, Mysterio and Emma Frost, were behind the tampering of the recalibrators. So, if they want to take down Doom, they're gonna have to go after those two first, and that's exactly what they do, as Jones eventually makes his way to Doomstadt to investigate Mysterio.
This place feels off.
If Doom cannot yet seize true perfection, he will create the illusion of perfection.
I don't know why I keep thinking you're gonna finish up a confusing thought with something less confusing.
Kind of a you problem. Most people pick up on what I'm putting down, but I can clarify. That unsettling sensation you feel? It is Mysterio's illusory conjurings.
Well then, I guess we have an illusion to un-illusionify.
That is not a word.
I'll make it catch on.
Not long after this, Hope joins this investigation, and what they discover is honestly horrifying. It turns out Doom recruited Mysterio to his side so that he could brainwash not only the people of Latveria, but also those living on the island to believe that Doom was some amazing leader that saved this country, and not just another tyrant. This absolutely infuriates Hope, and honestly, results in one of the best character interactions I think we've ever gotten in the game.
This is wrong. Who knows how long these innocent people had to live under Mysterio's thrall, robbed of their feelings, their free will, their personhood. Mysterio will pay for this.
Hey, there it is. There's that fire. You feel what you feel right now? That burning need to right an injustice? That's why we follow your lead. That's what's gonna take Doom down. I just know it.
Anyone who saw what happened here would feel the same way.
Nuh-uh, you're wrong. That fire inside you is special. You just have to believe that it is.
It doesn't seem like much, Jones.
Believe me, it's everything.
With Hope being all fired up, the heroes take this as their opportunity to take down Mysterio. And considering this guy is just an overrated magician, it didn't take much to take care of him. And just out of spite, Hope sprayed her iconic graffiti all over the statue of Doom. And now that one of Doom's allies has been taken down, that only leaves Emma Frost.
You doing okay? You seem better.
Gloomy, scary prophecy aside, today I took a wrong and said it right. That felt good.
Yeah, it did. Look at you, accepting the hero's mantle.
Okay, don't be weird.
However, before they get around to that, a familiar face rejoins this fight. Iron Man has returned to the island and brought with him tons of Stark tech for our heroes to use in their upcoming battles. Also, it turns out that Jones is quite the Iron Man fanboy and may even have something to do with that Iron Man fan club on the island, but that's not really important. But now that Tony is back on the island and he's completely on board with Shuri's plan to rift Doom away from the island, he's going to help redesign the recalibrators while the others take care of Emma Frost. Which, speaking of, Tony designed some devices to nerf Emma's powers so that the heroes can sneak in and take her down. Everything seemed to be going to plan, then something happened.
Hope, come in.
I know, Emma's mad, we're working on it.
No. The rift beacons picked up a hostile signal. A really big hostile signal. And it's getting closer.
Doom? No, we're not ready. It's too soon.
We are ready. You are ready. First things first, let's neutralize Emma. Then we can deal with the big guy.
So the heroes are able to easily take down Emma Frost, but Doom is now on his way to the island, and now in his new armor that allows him to control the powers of Pandora's box. Hope begins to start freaking out as she still doesn't believe that she's ready to fight Doom. However, after some wise words from the Oracle, she finally calms down.
I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't.
You're panicking. Excellent.
Excellent. I'm losing it. Right when everyone needs me to keep it together.
Heroes of prophecies past love to paint themselves as stoic beacons of justice. But they're not. They scream. They cry. On rare occasions, they destroy a nearby bucket. You know why? Because they care about getting it right.
What I care about doesn't matter if Doom crushes me.
Oh, he could crush you like a tiny little bug, absolutely. But your relentlessness, your burning passion to fight, even in the face of peril, that is why they follow you, Hope. That is why you are a hero. So do whatever you have to do. Scream, cry, use the bucket. But you must try. Because if you try, you might win.
And then the day had finally arrived. Before Doom was able to land on the island, the heroes had set up their new and improved rift recalibrators in order to rift Doom away from the island. Then, one by one, Hope powered them up before firing them all at the forge where Doom was apparently located. However, Doom had created a force field around the structure.
Those who dare stand against me will pay a price.
Doom was now furious, and when the shield broke, it sent a shockwave around the entire island, and Doom was now ready to face the heroes himself. Doom is now in his Titan form and is absolutely obliterating everyone who stands in his path. Jones then, in a move of pure stupidity, throws his shield at Doom, and it does absolutely nothing. Doom, with no hesitation, shot Jones to the ground, and he recognized Jones as someone who had foiled his plans once before in the Zero War comics, and now it was time to get his revenge. Doom began to charge his fatal blow, but in the final moment, Hope ran to Jones, grabbed the vibranium shield, and saved Jones's life. The shield barely survived the attack from Doom, and Hope was confused as to how she even survived this attack, but before she could even process what had happened, Dr. Doom grabbed Hope and looked her right in the eye. Hope's fear of being crushed was about to become true, but in a final act of desperation, Hope realized the shield and even part of her arm were filled with the powers of Pandora's box, which she used to strike Doom right in the eye, causing him to drop her. Doom had now been damaged, but so has Hope. However, despite their injuries, the two got right back into the fight, and now all of the loopers and heroes on the island go all out against Doom. All they needed to do now was weaken Doom a bit, as Hope tells us that one last surviving Rift Recalibrator is able to transport Doom away from the island. And once Doom had been weakened, Hope activated this Recalibrator, and moments later, the Rift had built up enough power to pull Doom inside. As Doom was being transported away, the powers he had stolen from the box left his armor and traveled into the Rift. Doom began to shrink, and in one final moment of anger, Doom shouted, and finally, Doom's mask fell off of his face and crashed into the dried out lake where it sits to this day. Dr. Doom had now been defeated, but that's not where this story ends. During the event, Doom had broken several of the rift beacons, sending them to various POIs, which made them malfunction and pull this Halloween world to the island, which totally has been present in this entire video because I filmed a lot of these shots in the final week of the season. Anyway, this Halloween world brought with it a new version of Ultima Knight, who's the protector of the pumpkins for this realm, a new POI that took over where Valeria's place once stood, and most importantly, attracted the attention of Mephisto, the same demon who took Doom's mother from him all those years ago, was now on the island and had taken over the underworld. And it's important to note what he tells us, as he confirms that Doom is still alive, as he taunts any Doombot or snapshot of Doom that approaches him, but he also congratulates Hope on her victory and says that there's no better feeling than defeating Victor Von Doom. But is that really the end for this chapter? Well, no, as we have one live event in the near future that will apparently be sending us back to the Chapter 2 island. But how will we get there, and what's going to be different about it this time? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see.